Welcome back to San Antonio Living. It is National Adoption Month, and each week we've been sharing different stories of adoption. This morning, you might recognize Evy Ramos. She is the, I say host, but you're the anchor of the evening news, the 6 and 10 p.m. news with Randy Beamer.
Absolutely.
It's good to see you. Thanks for getting up early
It's great
for
to
us.
be here. I like how the tables have turned. I'm now being interviewed.
I know, yes. And you wore the same colors, man.
Yes, wanted to match.
So tell me a little bit about your adoption experience.
Well, when I was in high school, I got pregnant. And so I knew from the start I was a little bit blessed because I have an adoption background. We actually adopted 2 of my siblings from the foster care system.
Okay.
So I knew right away at that point I was obviously overwhelmed, and this was an unplanned pregnancy, but I knew that I had 3 options, that I could either keep the child, have an abortion, or place the child for adoption. Mm-hmm. And right away I knew that I couldn't go through with an abortion, so it left me with 2 options. And I spent some time really studying both options to see what I felt was best for my child.
I think it is so amazing that you're talking about this, because there are so many young women in this community who are in that same position right now. And it's so important to see that you can get through it. It is absolutely okay. Do your research, see what works for you.
I think that's what's most important. I think a lot of times in our society we kind of forget the third option of adoption. Right. A lot of times we think we can either have an abortion or keep the child. And I think that we really need to educate people, spread awareness of adoption, November in particular, because it is Adoption Awareness Month. But we can really focus and make sure that people know that this is a third option. It's a very viable option, and it's something that really benefits everybody involved in the process. We talk about the triangle, they call it the adoption triangle, and it involves the birth parents, the child, and then the adoptive parents. And mine was a very open adoption. I decided from the beginning that I wanted it to be open, so I didn't want there to be any questions as he grew up. Okay. Research shows that when you're open, it benefits everybody involved. And so it's been a wonderful experience. He's now 14 years old. I got to participate, really. I was almost like an aunt figure as you see these pictures of him growing up over the years. And Easter there, he has an older brother, Tynan, that you saw in the picture, and here he is with his family from a few years ago, and it's been an amazing experience. These are my 3 kids now that I have with my husband in the middle, and it's just been a wonderful experience to see him grow up, and he's become a wonderful 14-year-old. There he is, ready for a debate from a few months ago.
What kind of questions did he have for you when he realized that he was adopted or found out that he was adopted?
Well, what's so great about open adoption is that from the very beginning he knew that I was his birth mother, and that he would tell me he grew in my belly, and I placed him with his parents, his adoptive parents. And so he hasn't had too many questions because he's known it's the normal. When he introduces me to his friends and family that I haven't met already, I'm his birth mom, Evy. And because we make it so normal, everybody else realizes, oh, okay, this is not a strange thing. This is absolutely normal. And there's a lot of people, as you meet people in society, you realize adoption has really touched many, many lives.
It sounds like such a scary thing, you know, when you're pregnant and you don't know what to do, but hearing your story makes it seem like it's so much easier, and it really worked out well for you guys.
Absolutely.
How's the family dynamic now?
It is fabulous. They're an extension of our family. When we have family reunions, he and his family are involved. My grandparents are still his grandparents. They still help out in the form that grandparents would. Yeah. And, you know, you can never have too many people loving a child.
So true.
And, you know, they say it takes a village to raise a child, and this is much the same way. You know, you have aunts and uncles and grandparents and that participate in any child's life, and this is just an extension of that.
I know since coming here to San Antonio, there is an agency here in San Antonio called Abrazo Adoption Agencies. Is that a place that people can get more information?
Absolutely. I've worked with them and have spoken to some of their birth mothers before. They're an excellent adoption agency here in San Antonio that specializes and focuses on open adoption. So it's a situation where everybody is wanting that openness. experience throughout the child's life. So I would definitely refer people to Abrazo.
I think you're amazing, Evy. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
And what would you leave our viewers with this morning if there's one thing you want them to know about adoption?
I just want them to make sure that if you're ever in a situation where you find yourself with an unplanned pregnancy, to really make sure you educate yourself, know all of your options, because regardless of what you end up choosing, if you've educated yourself as you look back over the years, you'll know that you made the best decision at that time in your life.
Thank you so much for coming this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank
Guys,
you.
you can catch Evy, of course, on the 6 and the 10 p.m. news. And if you've got questions about adoption, there's an agency here in San Antonio that can help you. It's Abrazo Adoption Associates, abrazo.org, or call the number on your screen for questions. Up